Dabo, Swinney, and the Clemson Tigers just reminded everyone that they are still one of the top dogs in college football. In the span of 48 hours, the Clemson Tigers have put their foot on the gas pedal and landed the #1 linebacker in the country and 2 elite wide receivers to add to their 2024 recruiting class. 5-star linebacker Sammy Brown started the snowball with the announcement of his commitment Monday evening. Brown is the #1 linebacker in the 2024 recruiting cycle and the #5 overall prospect in the entire country. He becomes the Tigers' 10th best recruit in the modern recruiting era and should be a key piece for their defense in the near future. Sammy Brown is a Georgia product and currently plays for Jefferson High School, which is just 30 minutes outside of Athens, Georgia. That makes this recruiting win even more monumental for the Tigers as they pluck the #1 player in Georgia right out of the Bulldogs' backyard. Not only is Sammy Brown the #1 linebacker in the country, he is a 2-time state champion in wrestling. He runs a 10.7 the 100-meter dash. He rushed for over 1,400 yards and 20 touchdowns last season and can already power clean over 405 pounds. I think 24/7 Sports' Andrew Ivins said it best when talking about Brown's athletic ability. He is a true one-of-one athlete and is a mixture between a unicorn and a yeti. The Tigers should have one of the best linebacker duos in the nation next season and have produced NFL talent year in and year out. Sammy Brown is without a doubt going to be the next linebacker to dominate in Death Valley. Clemson wasn't done there though. Less than 24 hours later, we saw the Tigers land 5-star wide receiver Bryant Wesco and 4-star wide receiver T.J. Moore. Wesco visited Clemson this past weekend and told reporters he loved everything he saw in his visit. The way the team moves around as one unit, like a family, was something that made Wesco feel very comfortable about locking in his decision way earlier than anyone initially expected. Even his family was caught off guard with the decision, as they expected him to keep his recruitment open throughout his official visit. For the longest time, all signs pointed to Wesco landing with the Oklahoma Sooners, but the Tigers made a late strong push for the Midlothian native, and now we're here. Besides the Sooners, Wesco had schools like LSU, TCU, and Tennessee all battling for his commitment. According to 24/7 Sports, Bryant Wesco is the #1 player in Texas and the #9 overall recruit in the 2024 class. Clemson's long line of NFL receivers, along with the new Garrett Riley offense that is coming next season, was a big factor in locking in Wesco. He wasn't the only receiver that was taken away by his visit with the Tigers. T.J. Moore was another recruit that visited Clemson last weekend and actually announced his commitment just a few hours prior to the announcement of Bryant Wesco's. Moore is a 6'3" wide receiver out of Tampa, Florida, and caught over 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns, and averaged over 24 yards per reception last season. He was down to Florida and Clemson, but Coach Grisham made it understood that Moore was a huge priority for the Tigers. These 3 commitments jumped Clemson from the #21 overall recruiting class all the way up to the 8th spot, passing up schools like Alabama, Tennessee, Florida State, and more. This also sparked a wave of momentum across the recruiting trail as the Tigers have gained a lot of traction on other elite recruits. Texas natives like Michael Uni, Casey Poe, and Corian Gibson are all prospects that should be high on Clemson's radar. The pipeline from Texas to Clemson has been very strong over the past few years as the Tigers have a ton of Texans on their roster. Impact players like Cade Klubnik and Andrew Makuba are both from the Austin area and some of the best players currently on the team. They're also locking in on recruits like KJ Bolden and Edric Houston, who are both elite prospects out of Buford, Georgia. For a team that hasn't been to the college football playoff since 2020 and has ranked just outside the top 10 in recruiting the past 2 seasons, the Tigers look to finally have some momentum back in their corner. Do you think the Tigers will have enough momentum to land all those guys? And just how high do you think the Clemson recruiting class will finish? Let me know in the comments, and if you're a football addict like I am, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more football related content. You can catch some of my other videos right here, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Until then, peace.